Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. In this video, I'm going to share with you some tips on how to improve your posture. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. There's finally a couch in here, so all my videos will be from in here now. But for this one, we're gonna be in the hallway a little bit as well, because I'm going to share with you some tips on improving your posture. It's something that we all pretty much need to work on, especially where we're always like at our desk or on our phone and we're all kind of hunched over. And it's definitely something that I've needed to work on for so long, and I'm still working on it. I'm still improving it. It's by no means perfect. Like, I'm not gonna be like a debutante with books on my heads or anything like that, but it's gotten so much better, especially just over the last year, really focusing on yoga and just proper moves for it, and also now going back to the gym and gaining muscle with good posture as well, because you don't want to start working out and start a workout program with your body like this and then you're doing everything and you're building muscle in not the most optimal way. So then when you do go to improve your posture later on, you have a lot more work that you kind of need to go back and fix all of that before you can move forward. So it's always easier to start now. What I'm mostly talking about is the forward head posture. So again, that's shoulders rounded forward, our head's a little bit forward, so our neck is kind of jutting out. So our neck might always hurt because it's supporting our head this way instead of our whole body supporting our head up top. And then again, everything's just tight. You might get a lot of knots and just muscle pain, especially in your back. You might not be breathing super well because your lungs aren't able to expand fully. So there are a lot of other good benefits that can come along with improving your posture. So for improving your upper body posture, there are two things that you need to work on. So there's your front, your chest, all of this, as well as your back. For your front, because we're always all forward and we're all like tight and hunched over, say that this is healthy muscles where everything's interlocked perfectly. When you're tight and like this, then all those muscles are gonna hunch and like crunch together and get really tight and short, because this is all that you need to do. And your muscles, if they don't have to be like this, then they're gonna be like, okay, we'll tighten up, we'll shorten up, because we don't really need to be used. And your body always wants to take the path of least resistance. So if this is what's easier for it, that's what it's going to want to do. So the first thing that you need to do is take all the muscles in your front and loosen them up, stretch them out so they are nice and happy and healthy and how they should be. For the back side, now these muscles, instead of being healthy, they don't need to be used as much because you're always just going forward. And again, if you're not gonna use it, you're gonna lose it. Your body's not gonna put the effort into having strong back muscles if you don't need them, if you're not gonna use them. So you need to strengthen these. So what we're gonna do after we loosen up and stretch out the front is we're going to work on strengthening the back. When I was younger and had bad posture, my mom would always just say like, okay, stand up straight, stand up straight. So I would make myself stand up super, super straight, and it would hurt. Like, I would always be like, Mom, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts so bad. And now I can stand up straight and it doesn't hurt. I can stand up straight and this is my comfortable go-to. I'm super comfortable in this position. Whereas like this just, I just don't feel great. The second thing that we're going to do is build the back muscles. And we're not gonna have like crazy ripped backs, but they're going to be super helpful to support your spine. The other thing we want to keep in mind as we do the stretching and the strengthening is our rib posture. So a lot of times if we want to stand super tall, our ribs are going to start, instead of pointing down, you're going to go this way and they're going to point at an angle. And when you're doing that, as you can tell, now my lower back is arching a lot. Now I'm putting a lot of weight right here in my lower back, and that's going to cause low back pain. So don't strengthen and work on your upper body posture and make your low back hurt. So in order to have good lower body, lower back posture, we're going to try to keep our rib pointing straight down throughout all of these moves, because again, we don't want to start hinging and putting too much weight and too much pressure on this area that doesn't have a ton of support. Keeping that in mind, and let's get into that first step, which is stretching. So this can be done anywhere, but if you have a doorway, that would be best, just because you can really push into it and get a nice stretch. For the first one, you're going to have your arm at like a 90-degree angle, and you're just going to kind of lean into it. You can turn into it if you need to. You can also turn away. keeping my elbow there at my degree angle. Oof, this one's really getting that. And you're just gonna chill with it. This is stretching, it's chill. We're chilling for at least 30 seconds. And even doing it like 30 seconds a few times a day, or doing this as a circuit, 30 seconds of this side, 30 seconds of the other, 30 seconds of different angles for a few times, just to take like 10 minutes in your day, not even, of just stretching this area out. Especially if you've been sitting at your desk all day and you want to do this in the evening. Feels so good. Other ways to stretch this out is you can go low. So I have my hand right near my bum and just stretching it out. And after you do that, so this is really stretching here, you can even look the opposite direction, get a nice neck stretch. Again, making sure you're not hinging from the hips. You can even kind of hold your ribs here down at the bottom to make sure that they are staying down. Oh man, this feels so good. And then you can go to your waist height, straight out. And we're also gonna work on keeping our shoulders down. During all of this, you don't want your shoulder to come up because that's just not gonna feel good. It's not gonna stretch what you need to, so keeping it down, turning away, turning your neck, and stretching all right here. Going to the top. And that's really gonna stretch here. And this is the one where you really wanna watch out for your ribs, because when you straighten out, when you raise your arms, oftentimes your ribs wanna help you raise them straighter. So you might not be able to raise your arms as straight, but it won't hurt your lower back. And then just repeat on the other side. So you do 90 degrees, just really pushing into it. And if you don't have a doorway, like a good doorway to do this at, you can also just utilize a wall, starting down at your butt. You might need to be way back here, or even have your arm like just right here, and that might be a lot. And as you do it more often, you'll be able to get in more, turn more, raise to your shoulder height. Make sure your shoulder's not coming up near your ears. Breathe into it too. Don't hold your breath while you're doing this. You want to breathe into it. When you breathe in, really feel the stretch. Feel it even going down through your arm. And when you breathe out, see if you can maybe turn a little bit more, or just relax a little bit more when you breathe out. And then higher up. This is hard with a plant there, but we'll do it here. I'm still personally working on my posture, so you might see mine and be like, what is this girl talking about? Like, hers is meh. But this is something that I've been working on relatively consistently for the last year. So it's definitely still a work in progress. I think my head personally could be a little less forward, but in comparison to looking at videos from beforehand, just do ones where I'm cooking in the kitchen and like this, I've made a lot of progress. And this is a slow thing, but again, starting it sooner rather than later will help you out in the long run. Some more stretches that you can do if you have a nice flat wall is just leaning into it, having your hands up. And for some, this might be super tough. So again, if you just need to do this to stretch it out, do that. Do what you can. You don't want to overstretch it and like pull anything and make it more uncomfortable. You want to be able to do what you can. Another one that I personally love, it's like the go-to yoga move if you're doing a yoga class. So I love me some child's pose. So that one's on the ground. So you're gonna start, you don't need a yoga mat, but why not? With your knees wide apart, enough for your body to fit in, and then your toes are touching in the back. And for some, this might be enough. You can just hold that. For others, if you are a bit more flexible, you can just kind of come down. Relax a bit. And you want your head to relax. Try not to hold your head up. Even if you're in this position and this is all you can do for your stretch, don't hold your head up and cause a lot of tension and just strain right there. Just relax it. You can get a pillow or a block and rest your head. That way your head can just chill when you stretch. And be sure to breathe. If you can go into child's pose and you're all the way down and you're like, I've done this stretch, it's not like amazing, you can even take your blocks, put your hands on, and then they're higher, so your head can go down even more. Your chest can go down even more as if it's about to touch the ground. And this will really also just help you stretch out the side and even stretch out your back, which is really good before getting into the back strengthening exercises, just giving it a nice little stretch. Now that we've stretched out the front, we're feeling good, we're feeling relaxed. And again, this is something that you can do for even just a few minutes in the morning, a few minutes in the evening, especially after sitting at your desk all day, being hunched forward, to be able to do those stretches and really open that up. It will help you breathe so much better, and you'll just feel better. It'll help you relax more as well. And oftentimes when you're used to being in this round shoulder position, you don't realize that it could feel so much better because this is all you know. But once you start doing that and start realizing like, oh wow, like I feel better, it'll also encourage you to want to keep doing it. And now for those back strengthening exercises, I will show you some that don't require any equipment at all. But for these, having a resistance band, even just one super light one, is super beneficial because it will give you that added support and again resistance. It's a resistance band in order to gain the back strength and strengthen that posture, because even if this is all loose, your body still doesn't have the strength to keep it upright in a comfortable, natural, like you don't even have to think about it way. And we're gonna go light, we're gonna go slow, we're not gonna arch from our backs, we're going to focus on our upper back muscles. We're also going to do more reps. So you can do 3 sets of anywhere between, if they feel difficult for you, you can just start off at 12, but getting up to 20 reps for each set is ideal. And you can do these keeping it to one exercise, doing the 3 sets, or you can do these next 4 exercises as a circuit if you want to do that, just to kind of switch it up a little bit. So the first one, and this is one that I love to even just do at the gym when I'm resting between like shoulder presses or something, is just do this. And this is also one that you don't need a band for. One, it's also going to stretch this out, which is why I love doing it between shoulder press sets, because I'm stretching that out, getting a nice relaxing feeling here. And it's also really stretching out this area because I'm not bringing my shoulders up. So doing that, and then keeping your elbows right in here at your waist. Again, we're not going to hinge our booties at all, and just stretching it out. So it's gonna get the front stretched and the back strengthened. I'll show you from the back. It's really working these muscles here that you can't see because of my sports bra. If you do want to add the resistance band, just keep that in front of you. Again, elbows in, and you're not going to raise your shoulders. You're going to keep them down, just almost like they're being pulled away from you. And you can just, and you're not going to get as far with the resistance band because again, it's a little tough. Even this light one for me is pretty tough, but you're going to keep your elbows in and you're really rotating from the shoulders. The next one, a pretty similar move, but we're gonna have our arms out in front. Again, not shrugging our shoulders up, holding your thumbs together and stretching that one back. And this one's really going to get the middle portion of your upper back. You're gonna keep your arms as straight as you can, again, so all of the move is coming from your back. The next one is going to be a row. So again, using your resistance band. If you do have light weights and you want to do that instead, you can do that. But I think for this to go slow and just really feel that your back muscles really working, using the resistance band is easiest. So I'm gonna go out to the hallway and do it on these stairs, holding it forward. Again, your shoulders are staying down and you're just going to pull back. So you're keeping your shoulders where they are, and you're pulling back with your elbows, like if somebody grabbed your elbow and was pulling it back. Going nice and slow. Again, starting off with 12 reps, making your way up to 20. If 3 sets of 20 becomes too easy, you can even just use a tougher resistance band. You can do them bent over and just stepping on it. I'm going to step on the resistance band, bending over, hinging at the hips, not arching at all. This isn't cool. And I'm just rowing back. Again, making sure my shoulders don't come up near my ears. You want to make sure that when you're in that end range of motion, when your elbows are pulled all the way back, you're feeling it pinch right here. Not pinch like a nerve feeling pinch, like if you know that feeling, you don't want that, but almost as if your shoulder blades were going to pinch a pencil in between. You want to almost feel like the skin between is wrinkling up, like when you sit down and everything kind of gets a wrinkle. You want to get that wrinkle between your shoulder blades. And the fourth back strengthening exercise that you can do with a resistance band is essentially lat pull downs. So you're going to hold the band, hold it wider than shoulder width apart and start up at the top and just bring it down. Again, we're going nice and slow. We're not bringing our shoulders near our ears. We also want to have our elbows, if they can tilt back just a little bit, and that will help you get that pinch. And if these are feeling too easy, again, you're doing 3 sets at 20 and it's super easy, then just go for a heavier resistance band and making sure you're having a little bit of tension between the resistance band so you're getting good use out of it, because I can hold it like this, but that's not doing much. So having a little bit of tension, pulling down nice and slow. And this will really work on our lats. But again, we want to make sure it's not coming from our shoulders. So those are the 4 back strengthening exercises that you can do with a resistance band. Again, starting off with 12 reps if they're pretty difficult, and then eventually making your way up to 20 reps for each set, doing 3 sets of each exercise. And you can do it either as a circuit, or you can do it where you just do 3 sets of the elbow one, then move on to the next one. So however you want to break that up, as long as you just get that in, and it's not something that you have to do every day, even just a couple times a week will help you slowly build those muscles to keep your back upright and supported. Now moving on to the exercises that you can do without any equipment. Sometimes I feel like they're actually a lot more challenging because it really strengthens your stability and your endurance, like your muscular endurance, and it's that little bit of challenge doing it every few days that will help you gain that back strength. So I'm gonna get down on the floor for these ones. The first one that we're doing, and sorry if my voice is not gonna be the best and facing the ground. You're gonna keep your head down, your arms are at a 90-degree angle, they're facing up. And then with that pinch feeling that I talked about when I was doing the resistance bands exercises, we're going to raise our arms and get that pinch feeling between our shoulder blades again. But also without our shoulders coming up to our ears, we want them staying down. And ready? This is it. Just holding this. And it's surprisingly harder than it looks. If you want even more of a challenge after a while, you can bring your hands higher off the ground than your elbows are, because it's working that rotation. It's working all right here. And just holding this, starting off with 10 seconds if you need to, making your way up to 30, making sure you're breathing, you're not straining and holding your breath, because that's just going to cause more tension. It's going to cause a lot of tension in your neck. And then releasing. The next one that we're going to do is a bit of a movement. So again, we're facing down, but we're going to start with our hands up, thumbs facing up. Again, shoulders not coming up towards the ears. And it's basically like the lat pull down, except no resistance band on the ground. Making sure we're getting that pinch feeling in the back. Our elbows are coming all the way back. Oof. Going slow. And doing that also about 12 to 20 times, 3 sets. You will feel it. The next one that we're going to do, again, we're facing down, but this time my arms are facing back, and we're going to raise them off this way. Almost as if we're Superman. And just breathing, holding them back if you can. 10 to 30 seconds. And the last one that I have for your back are bird dogs. You're going to be on your hands and knees, nice right angles everywhere. What's really important is a right angle here. You want to be bent at your hips, and you're not going to let your midsection, your belly drop, because again, that's putting a lot of weight on your lower back. So you want to make sure that your ribs are pointing straight back, almost as if somebody's pulling your belly button up through your back. Again, we're keeping our shoulders away from our ears, and we are raising one arm and the opposite leg. Again, making sure you're not hinging from your lower back, and that your arm, this is as far as your arm can go out, do that. If you try to raise it and it's tilting your ribs, don't do that. So go as far as you can with your arm, as far as your ribs allow. Leg is pointing straight back, as you can see there. And then you're coming down. You can do the other side. Stretching your arm out, your thumb is pointing up, and you really want to be feeling it get stronger in your back. That might be enough of a challenge. It's just going slowly and alternating sides. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can go up and crunch in, and for this you will hunch forward, and then you can go straight back out. So this is giving you a little bit of a core exercise as when you're in the crunch position, and then strengthening your back when you're in this full position. And again, the arm that's down, making sure that the shoulder doesn't come up near your ears, because it's also going to strengthen your back just by supporting you. Either way, do again 12 to 20 for each side, 3 sets. And if you really want a challenge for that, this one is going back to those other ones that I did, laying flat down, and it's the endurance and having to hold your arm off the ground that will really give you a challenge. So I do feel like they're more challenging than just the regular bird dogs. You're gonna have your hands palms down on the ground, and similar to the bird dog, how one arm went up and the opposite leg went up, that's what we're gonna do, but keeping your body down. And hold for a second, down, up, hold for a second, down, hold for a second. And just keep doing this, alternating sides. And that one's good if you do feel like you get lower back pain from doing the bird dogs, if your lower back is starting to dip. But again, I think it's a bit more challenging. Those are all of the exercises that you can do without any equipment. Well, there you have it. Those are my tips on how to improve your posture by opening up and stretching your chest and strengthening your back. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below what your posture tips are and what you want to see else here on my channel. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe. I upload a new video every Wednesday. So until the next one, thanks for watching.